All right, so I said I was gonna, excuse my voice because I'm actually about to go to sleep right after this, but you know, I've been making videos talking about things I've went through, and so I thought about another one, and I figured I'd just record it. So this was 2007 or 8. Now, one of my very good friends had just won Lucky for Life scratch ticket. He won $1 million, right? And so it was just it was a crazy year, let's just say that. And so before he was able to actually, you know, receive his money, he had called me up one day and asked me to come pick him up. And so I did that. So I drove to go pick him up. But then when I got there, he wasn't there. And that's a whole nother story. But when I got there, he wasn't there. I called him up, and then we met up a little after that. But as I left from where he wanted me to pick him up from, I got back in my car, and a white truck pulled up right behind me as I was leaving. So I then just, you know, do what I was doing. I drove off. So as I drove off, the guy who just pulled up to park behind me, right? I'm on the side, parked, you know, in the gravel. He pulls up right behind me in the gravel. But I'm leaving. As soon as I leave, he just comes out behind me. So that was weird in itself, right? So I get to the stop sign, and I'm just looking in my rear view like, what the heck was that? But no biggie. I turn left. I'm headed down to Highway 99, okay? I turn left, go down the hill. As I'm doing this, this guy is like, I don't know if he was trying to scare me with his driving tactics or what. I don't know what he was doing. But I could look in the rearview mirror, and he was, you know, he's doing this. And I'm like, is my tire flat? Is, you know, light out, or I don't know what the, you know. And so he keeps trying to, like he's about to ram me in the back though, like he's coming up crazy close, and then hitting the brakes, and he keeps doing this. And I'm like, what is wrong with this dude? I'm at the red light. He's right behind me. His mouth is going, ah. Now he's got, I didn't see at first, but he's got 2 more people in the back seat. Yeah, he's just doing something. He's saying, I don't know what he's saying, you know. Light turns green, boom. So I turn left, and I'm like, all right, get away from this dude. He's crazy. And so I kind of stepped on it because I wanted to just get away from the dude. I didn't floor it, but I just wanted to get away from him. As I'm doing that, he's getting behind me like he's trying to, you know, hit me from behind again. Then gets on the side of me and starts swerving at me. He swerves like he's literally trying to hit me, and I had to swerve to the right into the right lane. And he kept doing this for like 3 blocks, and I'm going, you know, I'm screaming, and hey, what the fuck is wrong with you? You know, what are you doing? And the fucking dude's, you know, he's going crazy, like he's really tripping. I don't know who this dude is. I've never seen him in my life, ever. Okay? And so he's just going crazy. And swerving into, you know, trying to swerve into me. Now, he did that a good 3 times. Once we turned left at this light, he tried to ram into me to the right about 3 times, okay, in the 3-block radius. He's swerving at me, and I'm like, this dude's like, I don't know what's happening. He's trying to kill me. I don't know what he's doing, right? I don't know what's going on. I don't get it. It's weird. Sure enough, I came up to another light. When I came up to that light, I'm thinking to myself, I gotta shake this dude. So I was getting ready to, you know, bust a right or just try to get away from him. This dude's crazy. But as I seen after the first swerve over that he did to me, oh, I pulled my gun out. So at the time I had a Ruger SP-101 .357 Magnum. So I took that out after his first swerve, and I just had it in my lap. And so once we got to the light, he pulled up on the side of me. He pulled up on the side of me, but short of me. Like his front bumper was on my driver's side door. He pulls up, and tires screech. They jump out, all three of them. Okay, he comes to a halt. All three of them jump out aggressively, walking towards me. What are you guys doing? I pulled my .357 Magnum and I put it right out the window. And I looked at him. I looked at the driver directly. I mean, I seen the other two guys too coming at me. But the guy who was the driver who was doing all the crazy, you know, trying to ram into me, so he's walking towards me. I pulled that .357 Magnum out the window, and I said, "Hey man, what the fuck is wrong with you? And who are you? Do I know you?" Now, before I could actually even get those words out, they turned around. Okay, so as soon as I pulled that .357, hey man, what the fuck? You know, at that point, they all take off running back to the truck. Guy goes, runs, jumps in the truck, and I kid you not, you know, my gun's still there because I don't know what they're doing. Okay, and then when they jumped in the truck, what would you think? They're going to get a gun, right? And so that's my thought. I'm like, oh my God, if they go in here, grab a gun, gotta run the red light, now I gotta floor it. Like, this is crazy. But they didn't. When I had that revolver, when I pulled that gun out, they took off running, jumped back in the truck, and as he skirted off, I'm looking. I don't see anybody, you know, on this side of their car who's going to try to shoot at me or something like that, right? So I didn't need to, you know, run the red. I didn't feel the need to. And he ran the red light, so he pulled a U-turn. Highway 99 is like is a big, you know, street. It's a huge main street. Every city has one, so you'll know what I'm talking about, like Broad Street in Philly or whatever. Like, you know, it's a big one. And so it's got 3 lanes on both sides, and then you got the little middle part. So revolver, they fucking take off, almost falls trying to get in the truck, gets in the truck, floors it, and hits a U-turn and turns around and goes back. Okay, and doesn't look at me after that. He didn't, not a word, got in his truck, got the fuck on. Excuse my language. But, so it was just weird. I'm like, what was that? You know, and I called up my buddy. I'm like, look, do you know somebody in a white truck? I don't know, does someone want to kill you? You know what I mean? Like, what's going on? The fact that he had just won the, you know, the big lotto thing. Is this someone who heard about it, who, you know, thought you were me, or thought I was you, and tried to rob you, thinking you had I don't know what it was. It just made no sense on how that happened. But when I talked to him, he said, I don't know anyone with a white truck, and as far as I know, I don't have any enemies. And so I don't know. You know, it's a weird one. It's something that till this day, every once in a while, I'm like, what was that? What was that about? You know, and that's the thing. That's the thing, and maybe that's the reason why I'm so serious about the Second Amendment, and you know, just making sure I got a gun on me every day. It doesn't matter where you live. It doesn't matter where you're going. You know, I don't think to myself, well, I'm only going to the store down the street, I don't need my gun. I'm only going to the mailbox, I don't need my gun. Name a place where bad things have not happened. Name one place. Has no one ever been shot by their mailbox? Has someone never been shot at Safeway grocery store? Right? I mean, they're in malls, they're everywhere. We can't even say church anymore, right? You know, they're in churches killing. So we're not safe anywhere. And a lot of people like to put out there that, you know, people who are pro-gun, or, you know, they sell the fear ticket. And for me, it's not necessarily about fear. It's just being prepared. And I don't have to say that to you guys. I'm preaching to the choir, you know, but to me, it's a no-brainer. But at the same time, I understand something. I understand that to some people, what they see on the news is like a movie or something. You know, it's a movie or a TV show, right? It's never going to happen to them. It's never happened to anyone close to them. It's nothing bad like that's ever happened to them in their life. So in their mind, you know, it's not really a necessity. That's why they put out those dumb little numbers things they're talking about. What they say? Oh, you're 22. You have percentages. You're 22% more likely to die from your own gun than, you know, stopping a bad guy from getting to you. I guess that could be true on the fact that a lot of people, you know, when they go buy a gun, that's all they do. They go to the store, they buy a gun, put it on the side of their bed or in their drawer or dresser, and then never look at it again. And if you're one of those people, yeah, you're 20. I can agree with that. You're 22%, 22 times more likely to, you know, hurt yourself than you are stopping a bad guy. I can believe that. But when you have someone like me, or, you know, you guys, you know, in Whammy, you guys know what's up. You know, we're not in that percentage. You know, that 22% more like, no, that's not us. You know, that's not gonna happen. So, and then think about it. You know, I've how many stories do I got so far on YouTube about, you know, having to use my gun? Like 4, and I'm 36 years old, and I'm not done. You know, like I got a lot more stories, and I have a lot of stories when I didn't even have a gun, like when I was a teenager. Okay, I've had a lot of things happen, and I'll make videos about those too soon. But people are delusional. They are. They just, their reality is different than ours. You know, I've been through it, and I've been through it so many times. And maybe it's because I lived in you know, low income housing area. You know, the hood. And when you grow up there, you know, you got to protect yourself from the people who are so down bad that they want to rob you and take from you and blah blah blah. You know, I wasn't born with money. My parents wasn't born with money, so they had to try to just work for their, you know, we had to start down at the very bottom of the totem pole, and my parents trying to climb and push us up, right? So living in that kind of a neighborhood, gotta have something. And with that being said, a lot more things happen to us, which is messed up, but you know what? It has provided me the experience to survive these situations. You know, I had those 5 rules for avoiding a gunfight. I'm going to go further into that too, and maybe post again. But I got that from the things I survived, and I must have did something right because I'm here, I'm talking, I'm breathing, and it's happened multiple times. You know, so that's it. I don't want to go too far on rant, but it gets real out there. So keep your eyes open. Defensive profiling is what I call it. Just be aware. Be aware. If you just get the slightest feeling, there's nothing wrong with taking your gun out and putting it in your lap while you're in your car. Just until you get away from that guy. You're at a red light and some guy is really strange. He's walking in the middle of the road, but he's zigzagging, or something crazy don't look right, or he's just staring at you and he's knelt over as he's walking. Like, you see something crazy like that, take your damn gun out. Be ahead of the situation. You know what I mean? Be all the way prepared. That's one of the rules in what I put there. Get as ready as you can without escalating the situation. And when you're in your car, they can't see all this. So yeah, in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with taking your gun out of your holster and just holding it in your hand with one hand on the steering wheel, one hand on the gun, until you're away from that situation that looks strange. Once you get past it, go ahead and holster back up. That's what I do. And actually, if I didn't do that AM PM story, I might not be here. So you guys be safe.